Hey guys, welcome back to K&S Get Out. It's warm today. It's been warm. In fact, yesterday, I think it was like, I don't know, at least 90, 91 degrees, and we had a heat index close to 100. And you know, we rely on the insulation in our camper windows. Yes, I'm playing with scissors. I'm not trying to threaten you. I have a genius idea for these. But it's really hot in the camper. We have two air conditioners going. We've got the main one that is ducted throughout the camper, and then we've got a small, we'd call it like a mobile AC that's technically ducted out that window right there. And as long as we have both of them running full time, down low, fans high, we can keep it below 78-ish or so in there on a really hot day like that. Sometimes it'll creep a little closer to 80 depending on if it's just straight sunny, no clouds or anything. Well, Princess Nala lives in the camper. She's our older dog and she loves her air conditioning. Well, the other night I heard the main AC kick on in the camper and it sounded like it was working pretty hard. A little bit of vibration throughout the camper and I was nervous. Sure enough, woke up the next morning, that air conditioner was out of commission. Panicked, and so I cranked down the little mobile one and just had it blasting, and Nala would lay right in front of it, but it quickly got up to like 85 degrees in there. And so we were kind of panicked. We're thinking, do we call Shannon's dad? Do I text Luke or call Luke and have him, you know, and a proprietary AC unit like that, I say proprietary, I know they're pretty universal through campers, but anything proprietary means pricey. And I thought, well, crud, do we just replace the unit? Do I get another one of these mobile ones and just forget about the one that's ducted? So I thought, okay. If I called Luke or if Ken came over, what would they do? First things first, check power. So I'm pushing buttons, you know, I'm not getting any response. The thermostat's working, but it ain't talking to the unit. I'm finally learning to stop overthinking things. So I opened the panel, the circuit breaker panel, and sure enough, the breaker just flipped. That's all it was. Turned it back on, kicked the AC on. In a matter of minutes, we had it back down to about 74. So it was a close call. You don't want to lose AC when it's this hot out. And it was something as simple as flipping a breaker. Good job, Kyle. Speaking of genius ideas, I have an idea. Now, I don't think anybody's ever thought of it ever in the world. This is like the best idea in the world. In fact, some of you are probably going to use it after seeing my geniosity at work here. Shannon's already done her time in the garden. We had Bruno out. She's inside getting cleaned up, so you just get me for a little bit. But we're going to go implement my new genius idea because I still got to go down and feed the goats and hang out with them for a little bit. They're starting to talk to me just a tad. You got to try and stay in the shade. So my genius idea, those panels down there around the pen, the tops of them have where the wires come together, it's kind of sharp. And so if you're dragging a hose over those over and over and over again, or even through one of the squares, it eventually scrapes this outer layer of this hose, and given about 8-10 months time, it broke and sprung a leak. So what I think I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take the old hose, and I'm gonna slit it, I'm gonna cut about a 10-15 foot piece, those are 16-foot panels, and I'm gonna fit this over the top of that, so when we drag our current hose, our new hose, over it, hopefully it keeps it from getting damaged. Genius idea? Original idea? I don't know. We'll see if it works. This is a pretty heavy duty hose. I think it's like commercial grade, I don't know. That means it's thicker or something. So it's not the easiest thing in the world to cut. A utility knife might be a better idea, but these scissors are getting the job done at the moment. 15 feet's gonna be a long way. What I don't want it to do is twist on me so that it's not straight, and I'll probably have to zip tie it. That was Shannon's idea, thanks babe. Probably have to zip tie it up there, or it may not stay, or the goats might mess with it, or even Herc. Sometimes foreign objects, he doesn't like them, and he removes them if we put them in there. We'll find out. Okay, don't tell Shannon. I might have ruined a pair of scissors. Whoops. It's okay, I think we got like 10 in there. I don't know that I quite got 15 feet, but I did break a sweat, and I thought, yeah, we're gonna start here. This is the area down here where whenever I dug up the trench from the well house to the power pole and over to the camper for water and power, all of this got a lot of the rock that came out of the trench. And right now you can't see it obviously because everything's so grown up, but I've got to clean this area up, try to get a lot of this mess out of here, and then I'm gonna get the brush cutter and mow it with that. Because if I bring my 0 turn down here, I'm gonna be beating up those blades terribly. But I don't love walking over here because you can't really see to the bottom of it. I don't know that there would be many, if any, snakes in all that. I know it, I'm coming. But yeah, it's just kind of annoying. You don't like to feel that stuff while you're walking through there. Okay, the goats are telling me I'm gonna have to get them fed and everything before I do anything with this hose genius idea. They're gonna keep talking. Hi, Herc man. Hi, buddy. Hi, big guy. How are you? You gotta smell the Bruno. Gotta remove the Bruno smells. So if you don't know, we have a 5-month-old puppy up the hill, and he is a Pitahula. So his dad is a pit bull. His mom is part Catahoula, hence Pitahula. Hercules is a Great Pyrenees and Anatolian Shepherd, about half and half. Obviously, he shows a little more of the Anatolian, but perfect livestock guardian dogs. And he is our workhorse. This guy has never been indoors. He's never been in the camper. He never went into my parents when we were there for a couple months. All he knows is this out here, these goats, and he protects these guys. And he's very protective of them. Hi. And he also sheriffs a little bit, doesn't he? He's Sheriff Herc, isn't he? And so we are very pleased with him and the kind of dog he's become. He's a little over 2 years old, and he takes his work very seriously. And that is just kind of the breed that he is, or livestock guardian dogs. Koopaloop, do you take your work very seriously, bud? Of course you do. Hi, little Mario. My boys. But I tell you that because we have 3 dogs. We've got our Princess Nala. She's a little over 11 years old, and she is what our vet would say is a spot hopper. In other words, she's at the age where she just likes to lay around, hang out. We have to kind of force her to come out, walk around. She's just that way. She just relaxes. Hercules is our work dog, our LGD. And so he is a very different animal. He's trained completely differently. In fact, he doesn't know sit, stay, keep, drop, all that stuff. He doesn't know that stuff. I mean, he listens and he obeys really well, but he doesn't have a lot of commands like Nala. Now Bruno, our Pitahula, that boy is smart and he's full of energy. And at 5 months, he's constantly changing. And so right now, he's the focal point of our work when it comes to the dogs. And yesterday, as you guys know, if you've been with us for a little bit, we were kind of deciding what's Bruno's role. Where does he fit in? Who does he get along with? Who do we keep him from? He gets along with everybody, or so he thinks. But we have introduced Hercules and Bruno before, and Bruno cannot contain himself and leave Herc alone. Herc puts him in his place, says what he needs to say, shows his teeth, and Bruno lays down. He does a great job at being submissive. The problem is, the moment Hercules walks away or turns away, Bruno's up, trying to get his nose in his bum, trying to talk to him, trying to whatever, and Herc does not have it. I mean, doesn't have it. So I think we have kind of officially decided, you know what, they're 2 very completely different dogs with different roles. Bruno is kind of going to be, she's not down here so she can't defend herself. Bruno's kind of going to be Shannon's land dog. He's going to be our land dog. He goes on the morning walks with her. He helps her garden sometimes, and sometimes digs up raspberry plants. I don't know. I didn't do it. But it's nice for me when she's here alone. If I've got to run into town or something, I know it. It's really nice for me to know that she's got him, because Nala doesn't want to go up to the office. Nala doesn't want to be outside more than she has to. So if Shannon's out and about doing stuff, Herc is very, very good about alerting if there's anybody on this land. If anybody comes down that driveway and he knows it's not my truck or Shannon's car, he's letting us know. He's letting everybody know. He lets the goats know, but he's inside an e-fence. So he can't come out of there without us letting him out, which in dire straits, we'd make it down to him, we'd get him out, and he would help us for sure. But it would be nice if Bruno kind of becomes that protector for Shannon, or at least companion, if she needs his help. Otherwise, he's just a cute little cuddle bug to her. But Bruno and Herc, after yesterday, tried it again, didn't go so well. It's just, Herc's not gonna have it. The older Bruno gets, the more aggressive he's eventually going to be in that scenario. And they are the kind of dogs, they're gonna be the size enough, they're gonna have power enough that they could really hurt each other, or us if we're in the middle of it. So I think we're gonna keep their training and lives separate. He's always gonna be a pen dog. He's always gonna have his area that he takes care of. Now, if I get him out to graze, he comes out because I need him to help protect back in the woods. And we'll just make sure that Bruno is in his own pen or office or wherever he may be. But yesterday, it wasn't happening. And it went a little far. It went a little far. Everything was okay. I mean, it all ended well. Might have been a tiny little bit of blood drawn, but nobody is injured. It's just, we got to make those decisions out here. I know it. I got your feed, don't I? Hi, kiddos. Hi, Bluesy. Hi, pretty girl. I love how trained these guys are, especially you, huh? All right, Blue and babies. You guys know what to do. Come on. I didn't say Spruce. Thank you, sir. Good boy. Oh, you're gonna push? Hey, 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 hey. We don't need any of that. Come on. Gotta get over to the feeders. You're still not letting me. Oh, you guys are ridiculous. Good job, Bluesy. Good job, kiddos. Miss Daisy, little Dookie, Earl man. All right, Mama, get your boys. Mama and boys, that's what I'm talking about. Are you talking there, Coop? Spruce, Spruce. No, no. Of course, when the camera's rolling, he's being a spruce. Here, we'll come down to this one. I know it, yours is coming. These guys are starting to talk a lot more. And I think we may have some girls in heat. And so it brings out their talking a lot like Big Mario did, our buck that we had. Okay, boys, your turn. Herc, do you want to come in with me and we'll get your food here in a minute? That's a boy. Take your time, man. Spruce ain't hungry. Come on, Spruce or Loose. What? Come on, Weege. Larry gets in his way just to tease him. Is there any poop in your feeders? What? Huh? What? Goodness, whoa, 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 whoa. The whole world, here, yeah, we hear you. Are you talking a little bit? Hey, 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 hey. I know it. Goodness. Dude's got a mouth on him. All right, Weege man. Spruce. Larry and Harry, come with me. Come on. You can do it. That's my boys. Come on, this way. Let's go, let's go. Show me where to go. Oh, a little hay in your feeders, huh? There you go, hair man. All right, I gotta go babysit. It's a game. This, honestly, it just kind of morphed into this system just over time and them having the babies. And once we had the nurseries, you know, these guys were raised in there until they were big enough to be out with everybody else. And so the feeding routine just kind of became what it is. And we know this guy flies through his food, and then exactly what makes him mad, he tries to go do to the other two. So he's got to be stopped. Man, it's hot out here. He's gonna turn and burn when he's done. I'm gonna have to get that horn. Silly boy. You wanna watch him eat? Are you guys done over there? For the most part? All right. All right, Herc, you ready to eat your food, bub? Sheriffing. That's what he does. Get it, wild man. All right, buddy. Herc doesn't usually eat much, if any, dry food. Oh, I'm sorry, it might be a little crooked, huh? Any dry food, first feeding of the day, but he does love his canned food, don't you, big guy? Sometimes he'll give the dry food a little nibble, but he gets this in the morning and then at night. That's a good boy. And so far, he's never shown food aggression toward us. I have seen some of the goats try to sneak in while he's eating. Some of them he doesn't care about. Some of them he really cares about it, and he lets them know. But you can just tell by his posture, when he hunkers down like that, like the bend right here, that is the same stance he takes if he sees something out in Goatville that he does not approve of or is curious of. So I don't push my limits with him. Like, I've pet him before while he's eating, and he's never done anything, but when he stays hunkered down like that, you don't have to test it. There's no need. And he comes in here and gets to eat by himself with the gate closed. Now, there are a million different ways to take care of your goats and your LGD. You go watch any other channel, or if you do it yourself, I mean, everybody's got their own way. But it's been really cool for us because all of these goats, he was a bottle baby that Chad brought to us when he was about 12 hours old, I think. This guy and his brother Mario, they were born on a different homestead, and I think they raised him to about 3 or 4 months till they were fully weaned. And then we got him and his brother. His brother had to go to the auction because he was intact. And then of course, Mom is out there somewhere. She did not start first here, but her boys, little Mario and Koopa, they were born here. Larry and Harry, they were traveling inside of Blue when we got Blue. And then a couple months later, she had Larry and Harry here. And then of course, our buck, Mario, the dad to little Mario and Koopa, also to the 3 that came from Blue. And so they were born here. So it's really neat for us. Sometimes it doesn't feel like a reality, but it's neat to us that this is all most of these goats know. They were never anywhere else besides Blue and Mama. And so we get to kind of see how our routines and processes affect their upbringing. And of course, I'm a little biased. These are the best goats in the world. Aren't you, Bluesy? Even you've come around, huh? Good girl. And my Earl man, this guy is our most uniquely colored goat. And you see he's got his little La Mancha ears. Can you show him your mouth? Look at that. Look at that black and that tan. You are a handsome boy. Oh, speaking of handsome boy, yeah, the handsomest, right. I'm the color of poop. We get it. I was gonna say your attitude is poop. Well, that too, yeah, it's poopy. Neck nuts, what? Here, get my good side. There it is, right there. Zoom in on that. Oh, yeah. He's a little sassy. And no, that is not split tail on him, by the way. We get that question sometimes. He's just got like 2 different sets of fur in there. His actual tail, the meat of his tail is not showing. His tail has always been like that. You can see the long feather furs coming out of there. Are you eating some minerals, dude? Good boy. Definitely the most personality out of all of our goats. Hands down. Whoa, hey, we're making it weird, Dookie. That's your sister, dude. Are you talking? Hi, Daisy girl. I push you. Hey, push you. Hey, push harder. This is the only doeling we have that was born here anyway. Of course, Blue, her mama. All right, you guys curious what's down in Goatville because the gate's closed? I mean, you can go down there. Ta-da! It's the same old Goatville, kids. Oh, Ouija, the gatekeeper. Nobody goes till I say you can go. Are you gonna let everybody out or are you just gonna stand there awkwardly? Come on, bud. Sneak through there, Blue and Dookie. Come on, Ouija man. Let him through. Hey, you. Ouija, Ouija. Ouija, Ouija. Yes, his name is actually Luigi, Mario and Luigi. But believe it or not, this guy was a slow grower and was much smaller and slower developed than his brother, mostly because he was banded and his brother was not. But over time, as you can see, He ain't no wee little G no more. He big Ouija. It's just a lot easier to say Ouija than Luigi. Luigi, Ouija, whatever. And they're off. Because we've been doing so much of the clearing and stuff down here, I've still got to get, Dad and I were just talking about this the other day, but I've got to get all the saplings and everything I cut down, drugged down the hill. We've got about 50% of them down there, and then I've got the rest, you know, I'm just cutting down as we go. You getting a little salt lick? You got minerals up there, dude. Big old boy. But we are seeing a little bit more growth down on the floor, and so it's a little quicker to regenerate after these guys eat everything. And now that I'm grazing them as much too, you know, they're getting it out and about, so they're not putting quite the hurt on Goatville that they used to. They're just keeping it nice and maintained for me. Oh, Herc man, I got to get you out of your feeding station, don't I? And then I want to use my genius idea before I drag the hose over the fence again. All right, buddy. You want some freedom? You can go down in Goatville with your goaties. That's my good boy. One thing I will say about Hercules, it's a little different than most LGDs, is we did kind of also make him a pet. What I mean by that is that we love on him and he loves on us. And in fact, a wise friend of mine that lives not too far from here actually made a good point one time. You know, we want Hercules to be protective of these goats, and so we kind of need him to have that tough guy mentality. And my friend told me, he said, hey, there's 2 ways to make a dog mean or whatever. Of course, you treat them poorly, you're physical with them, you know, punish them, you raise them wrong, in my opinion, or you're just really mean to them. That'll make a mean dog. Or you love the snot out of him. And we love that boy, and he loves us. Almost to a fault, because we have still yet to be able to train him to allow anybody else to do anything in this pen with his goats, or even when we get him out and they're grazing. I've had people here before and he's been out, and at some point he does, I call it a drive-by, and it just randomly comes by and kind of looks at him and gives him the death stare. And occasionally, you know, he'll put his mouth out just like he does with the goats. You know, he kind of claims each of them. If they come out to graze and then they come back, he has to basically tell each and every one of them, like, hey, you're my goat, I'm responsible for you, and he touches every one of them. Herc does the same thing to humans out here. And you gotta be good with dogs. You gotta know what you're doing to not get yourself hurt. Now, we do have the e-collar, but I don't want to set him up. I never want to set one of my dogs up to intentionally be shocked, especially against something when he's doing his job. So it's a very fine line. You got to be careful with LGDs/pets and how you raise them. And I do say that he's got a little bit of that protectiveness. It's a little overprotective of Shannon and I because we show him so much love. I don't know, it's hard not to. I mean, look at the guy. Are you staying cool, buddy? What you don't know is right there in front of him, he's got probably 3 to 5 toys, bones, or sticks buried. And then just down here, he's got another 3 to 5. I mean, this is Herc's world, and these goats are just living in it. So this is what I'm talking about. Every place that these little verticals come up, it's really sharp. And it's annoying to put it through one of the squares because then so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna slip that garden hose over this, and that is pretty tight up on the T-post, so we may be cutting it and just coming to here. I don't know, we're gonna see. Makeshift homestead solutions. How funny would it be if this was like the absolute worst idea I've ever had? That's not possible. I had some pretty bad ideas. Ouija, why are you chewing on the rope, dude? Ouija is my bungee chewer, my zip tie tester. What are you doing, big guy? This is fun. Fun. What? Oh, yep, nope, uh-huh. What, are you trying to close the gate and keep goats down there? Dude, I don't know. Ouija. Hey, whoa! Good boy, good boy. I thought you were after mama. There you go. That's hurricane protective mode right there. What is it, turkey buzzard? What is it, buddy? That's a boy. You see that curled tail, guys? Just leave him alone. What is it, buddy? What'd you hear? That's a good boy. We've got 2 sets of owls that live out here, so 4 in total. And they do absolutely sit right on the outskirts of Goatville. They've never caused any harm to these guys, of course, even when they were real little. And we love our owls. Don't get me wrong, I love them. It's just that guy does not want any predators, whether they're flyers or 4-legged, 2-legged. That's how he acts. And he'll scare the fur off the goats too. All right, let me finish getting this hose up here. All right, I am digging it. I do currently have metal zip ties on here because that's all I have down here at the moment. I will clip those and replace them with plastic ones because I kind of figure the metal is going to be counterintuitive to the solution here. But that'll hold it up there for a little bit. I'll get those clipped off and changed out. But hopefully this is going to save my hose. I don't have to keep replacing them every so many months. Look at that, that's fancy. Beautiful. Absolutely love it. It even slides. I was wondering with the hose on hose contact. Hose on hose contact, yeah. I was wondering if it would actually keep it from sliding across there, but it's perfect. Very happy with the solution. Should have done it a long time ago. I really am super duper pleased with that. I did not realize how much I would enjoy that. And this time of year, when it's this hot out, you got to keep water in these things. So we got 3 regular bowls down here. We got a really big bowl down there. And then we got Herc's, I want to call it his bath here. He will get in this and sit down, but he will also put both or all 4 feet in these little bowls somehow still and get a drink at the same time. It's pretty stinking funny. All right, got everybody hayed out. I just got to say that since the month of May, the quality of our hay has been a big fat nay. You're weird. So now I've got good hay. Got it the other day. What can I say? I may just lay and eat some hay. I can't stop now. I'm gonna pay. I've got a whole lot more. That's so stupid. Hi, buddy. Get that out of my face. Huh? Out of here. Still don't know what you did to your little horn, dude, but it's called character. But seriously, hay quality, I didn't realize the difference in quality hay. Been doing a lot of research, and yes, there's a massive difference in hay. There's also so many different kinds of hay that you can get. This has pretty much been consistent. We've tested a few. This is a very moderately priced, I think it's just their prairie grass, I believe, or prairie hay, prairie bale hay, whatever they call it. And I try, during the summer, I've got all this. But when it's this hot out here, I try to kind of wait until the evening when it cools down a little bit, because these guys, after they eat, they'll get their hay and then they'll all take naps, either laying up here in their nice, beautiful dirt spot they've made or down there on the Herc hut. So I try to cut back on hay, but they have to have hay. And obviously if they're eating it, they need it. But that gets their little rumen going. What do you think? It's Mr. Dookie. Mr. Duke. It's one of Blue's latest goatlets. Are you gonna take a pee right there? You wanna make it weird? You're making it weird. You could be doing other things. Look how much Duke looks like Mama. And little Mar. You guys have got to be so confused. If you're new here, or you've only been with us a little while, I bet you couldn't tell these guys all apart, or who's whose. And the older they get, the more similarly sized they all are. It's hard for us sometimes. We call them the wrong names all the time, except for Miss Daisy. Pretty little Daisy. Mr. Koopa. He's one of my buddy goats. I think I have 6 holes in this shirt specifically, and I want to say 5 of them are from you. Would you agree with that? You sneak up and nibble on my shirt? Your brother does it a lot too though, huh? These guys are dogs with horns. Whew, I'm a sweaty mess, man. Yeah, I'm a sweaty mess. How about you? You don't sweat, do you? Little Mario. These two are, oh, you wanted a little salt lick? These two are Mama's boys. Their dad was Big Mario, and they both are just as friendly as their dad was when he wasn't being a boy. Good boys. All right, guys, I'm gonna let you have your hay, get you a little nap going, okay? You've got minerals over there. You just like to lick my sweat instead? You're silly. They're asking if she wants to nurse. What's up, my birds? One of the boys, one of the hens. You guys gonna go down into Goatville? Herc will actually let them. He couldn't care less. I love that. I think somebody else is outside. My little gardener over here.
Yeah, I finally got all my basil and marigolds and all my companion plants planted so that hopefully we can deter some bugs.
Is anything growing? Or are we just replacing it with just throwing them out and getting new plants every video?
I have thrown some videos or some plants out, I'm not gonna lie.
It's hilarious.
But I think we're on a good path here.
Well, some of it's really looking good.
Yeah, I don't even know where to begin.
It's okay. Hey, guess what?
What?
Your husband is a genius.
Oh, I know that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Where is he? Can I take him?
He's behind the camera.
Man, I took that hose. Remember the one that we kept dragging over the panel and it scraped and eventually it gave way?
Yeah.
I took that hose and I cut about a 12 or 15 foot piece, slid it, put it over the top. It's awesome.
Good job, babe. That's super smart.
Genius.
It is genius.
It's really sad what makes me happy these days.
It is okay.
And the hose actually slides pretty well across it, so
that's awesome.
I'm good with it.
Well, that's gonna save us money.
Yeah, I'm finding that that's like a very fun thing to do.
To save money?
Yeah, anytime I can repurpose something. I'm sure somebody in the comments is gonna be like, oh, I told you to do that a year and a half ago. You probably did.
Probably
I'm sorry, I missed it.
Yeah.
I'm still taking this. That's a wasp. Go on, big guy, go on. Get on, yep, I'm still taking it as my own original genius idea. So now if anybody else does it, they're gonna be like, oh, this is definitely that Kyle guy. It was his idea. He's
I love it.
Inventor.
I love it.
Well, I told him we already done. I thought you were done with all your gardening stuff, but you're back down here. Mr. Bruno's up taking a nap. Goats are taken care of, and I think it's time to move on and get some more stuff done.
Yeah, I just finished in here, so I think everything is good to go.
Hey, listen. I don't know where, there he is. Where's he at?
Oh,
There's
see
my
him.
big boy.
I love that guy.
We just heard some sirens. I know the mics aren't gonna pick him up, but he's over there just howling. That's a good boy, you tell him. He had to be a little protective earlier. There was a turkey buzzard that flew over, and I'm not gonna lie, Mama and me thought that he was coming straight for her. I was like, Herc, no, no! And then he ran right past her, and I look up and there's a couple turkey buzzards just kind of getting some updraft.
Well, yesterday morning, Bob was chasing Gray and they ended up in the trees over here, and Herc was just standing there watching the whole time.
Bob is big old bully. He's our mean pearl bird that picks on Gray. And then Gray is our gray bird, so we called him Gray.
You know.
We're creative.
Super creative.
Those guys don't get names, man. They're hard to keep around. These 7 have been doing
the lucky
great.
7.
Yeah,
they're good.
But we're down about 4 of them and 3 turkeys to who knows what out here.
Yeah. It is what it is.
All right, well, I'm gonna find some water and a
Hey,
project.
I have a hose right here.
That's what I'm gonna do. And a project that I can do from the shade.
That's a good idea.
Herc was over there burying that snapper turtle.
Was he really?
Yeah, I was afraid he was eating it, and you look over and you can see him pushing with his nose, so he's just covering it up.
Good job, Herc.
Yeah, I don't want him, I don't think there's anything left to eat. The bugs and earth took
Destroyed it.
the body, yeah, but I think he's just covering up that shell now.
Okay.
And he'll probably carry it around and play with it and bury it other places too.
Yummy.
All right, guys, we love and appreciate each and every one of you. We thank you so much for coming along on this journey with us. And as always, we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.